How should Kevin Love feel about coming off the bench tonight?
Ohio.com reporting that it's likely that he will. The Cavs saying we won't know for sure until game time. But how he should feel is like Andrew Bogut will feel when he gets sent to the bench tonight at some point, because everyone's going small. And to me, Bomani, this is the most stinging indictment against Kevin Love in his entire career. Keep in mind, you're going to have a hard time in the finals for any championship team ever seeing the third most important piece on a team mismatched off the floor. You can't imagine it happening to Chris Bosh or James Worthy or Robert Parrish. This isn't happening usually. The Golden State Warriors, though, are that kind of unique, so it makes it slightly less of an indictment.
Yeah, I don't know about that, because the Toronto Raptors got him off the floor for entire fourth quarters also. Because if you're talking about Kevin Love being put off the floor like Andrew Bogut gets put off the floor by matchups, what are you calling Kevin Love? A role player. Here's the thing about this particular role player. He's one who doesn't really get into games unless he gets the ball early and successful offensively. When he doesn't do that, he can be a little bit detached. So how does that work if you bring him off the bench? Are you bringing him off to play against number twos and get some easy buckets? Or do you need to start him because if you don't, you might lose him?
It's hard not to absorb this if you're Kevin Love, as they're blaming me for what happened in the first two games, and they're saying that me being out is the reason for what happened in the third one.
And you're a little bit wishy-washy, therefore untrustworthy in moments like these.
That was the reason David Blatt was replaced, because he wasn't using Kevin Love properly. You know, I mean, Tyronn Lue says, so I can make use of Kevin Love, you know, and during the run through the Eastern Conference, look like a hero, and now all of a sudden he wants to bench his. What the hell's going on here?
Apparently, Tyronn Lue figured out what David Blatt figured out. I don't know what to do with this dude.
Do Steph Curry's new shoes deserve the roasting they're receiving?
Man, it's that time of year where these shoes are number two, or maybe these shoes are just getting killed like this. Have you ever seen a situation where a player put out a signature shoe and they have been roundly ridiculed like these? Not so much because they're ugly, but because they look like this. Like, I feel like whoever put in all those hours coming up with that design to be like, they're going to be white with an Under Armour thing on them, I feel like he stole Kevin Plank's money, right? The internet responded promptly.
Viciously.
Yeah, my man Dragonfly Jones, yeah. These are dad's shoes. These shoes look like the shoes that your dad would wear. I mean, like, I bought my dad some shoes for Christmas this year. I tried to make them fresh, but I also had to acknowledge, hey, man, I need some shoes that my dad can wear. And I would get him these Under Armours because, yeah, Steph, you put out dad shoes with your name on them.
That was fun watching Twitter do this yesterday. You had it being compared to the shoes the Life Alert lady ends up wearing. You've got her. Yeah, there you go. You've got, they're called nursing home shoes. They're called Barbara Bush shoes. And the most stinging indictment of all, Tim Duncan shoes. I'm sorry, Tim.
There was a congressman, he looked like about 70 years old, who said those shoes look nice, and Under Armour had to be like, yo, thanks for nothing, Pops.
Well, I don't get it. I think that they look great.
Right,
where can I buy them?
Yeah,
you know,
right.
I mean, are they now for sale now?
Yeah.
By the way, don't say any of this in front of Kent Bazemore, because the Dap Master is defending stuff like nobody's business. He says, how are you talking about basketball shoes based on lifestyle stuff? Because that's why. What are you, new here?
Should the Bucks have a problem with Austin Jenkins fans interaction?
Jenkins is his name. He got kicked out of practice. He melted down on Twitter. We're not going to read all of this, but you can put it up on the screen. It's a whole bunch of mom jokes, and then it escalates into something else. I don't mind the mom jokes so much. I don't mind him interacting and fooling around with fans until he starts threatening fans with, I'm going to make you drink through a straw and come to the facility. That's where you cross the line, and that's where the Bucks have to do something, even if it's just talking to him and say, don't be an idiot on Twitter.
Totally here for the mom jokes, right? Like, if you're going to be silly to me, I'm going to be just as silly back to you any way I possibly can. But the rest of this is problematic. I mean, getting kicked out of practice, it seems in part like Dirk Cutter was on the new Sheriff in Town program. It's hard to really look like the new sheriff when the dude leaves and then he acts like this. Like, that right there is not getting the point.
Did you just name the Bucks coach there? Did you manage to do that? I feel like you'd win all sorts of prizes in a trivia contest the way you just did that.
Did I say his last name right, though? I was really unsure about that part.
I don't know.
You know, mom jokes are great. Do you know that I slept with your man?
Oh, really?
Huh?
Really?
Yeah.
I mean,
He means last night.
oh.
Should Kevin Durant be at all tempted to play for the Rockets?
Yeah, we got some photographic evidence that Kevin Durant's been hanging out with his former co-worker, James Harden, down there in Houston. Kevin Durant's about to be a free agent. The Rockets always have some big free agent plan, so Kevin Durant's name now winds up in this sentence. And no, there's not a single reason you should think about going to play for the Rockets. Why? Because all it is you and James Harden. How far are you going with that?
If the point is to lose at the doorstep of San Antonio and Golden State, you might as well go ahead and stay in OKC where you could get more money to do so instead of going to Houston. You go out east, but we're going to always make a big deal out of something like this, even though they're just hanging out, because the paradigm shifted when LeBron decided to join his friend in Miami and surprise us all and make us whisper about stuff like this.
So Dwight Howard wasn't invited to dinner?
Right.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I smell something fishy there.
Yeah, remember that one time Kevin Durant said that one thing about Dwight? Yeah, no, they're not kicking it.
Should the UFC have waived the 4-month testing period for Brock Lesnar?
He was on with us yesterday. He was colorful. He was fun. A lot of you haven't seen that side of him before, and one of the things that he told us is, we're doing it this time on all of my terms. At least one of the reasons that he was so engaged during our interview is because he's doing his own promotional schedule however he wants it, flying in and out whenever he wants. Also, apparently, one of the details in how you want it is you don't get drug tested, which is kind of great if the UFC is just trying to cash in on your pay-per-view dollars, which is what they're doing.
Look, the only way your drug testing policy can be taken seriously is if it is dead dog serious. It has to be unwavering to be taken seriously. There's a reason why this rule's in place to say that you have to have this waiting period. So you can't just hop in if you've been on that juicy juice. I don't know if Brock Lesnar is on it, but I know that Dana White basically said, hey, don't tell me, all right? Please, if you are, just...
Hey, Brock, don't worry about it, buddy. If you need the sample, I'll give you one for free. You're my buddy now, you know, so they don't have to know.
He doesn't want to test positive, though. That's the thing.
What's it going to test positive for?
Coming up next on my son Stevie's show, we talk to Ezra Edelman.
You know, everyone thinks the OJ story now, it's the murders and the trial. It's the story that was told in the FX series, you know, a few months ago. And for me, I don't think you could possibly understand that story in that moment in time unless you understand those 30 to 40 years before that. Understand who OJ was as a character, as a person in our culture, his rise to fame as an athlete and as a pitchman and as a Hollywood actor.
Joining us at the beach today is Ezra Edelman.
Masterpiece maker. He's the director of OJ Made in America, 5-part documentary film about the rise and fall of OJ Simpson. Part 1 this Saturday night, ADC, 9 p.m. Eastern. Let's talk to Ezra. All right, we're ready when you are. You ready?
Are you talking to me?
Yes, sir.
I was born ready.
All right, let's go. Ready? Ezra, this is such an ambition.
Are you ready, Dan?
Ezra, this is such an ambitious project. What have the last 2 years of your life been like?
Been a lot of work. That's all I got for you. It's been a lot of work.
But has it been, it's not enjoyable, right? I mean, this is a little bit of a suffering that has fulfillment at the end of it.
I'm still looking for the fulfillment at the end of it, but yes, it's been a little suffering. But, you know, look, it's the fact that it's not suffering when you're getting to do what we got to do. It's a privilege being given the task to look at a story that is in many ways a defining cultural tale of the past 50 years in this country. So yeah, it's a lot of work, and yeah, it's hard to do, but you know, it's a privilege that we were asked to do it.
Well, what were you trying to do?
What I was trying to do was do justice to this story and maybe offer a perspective on this story. When I say this story, meaning, you know, everyone thinks the OJ story now, it's the murders and the trial. It's the story that was told in the FX series, you know, a few months ago. And for me, I don't think you could possibly understand that story in that moment in time unless you understand those 30 to 40 years before that. Understand who OJ was as a character, as a person in our culture, his rise to fame as an athlete and as a pitchman and as a Hollywood actor. But concurrent to that, to understand the dynamic in Los Angeles between the black community there and the LAPD. All of these things and the history so much sort of went into explaining why people lost their minds during the trial, why the verdict was what it was. And without that history and context, you fail to get it. And I feel like people still today, without having seen this, you still fail to get it. People don't understand why people responded the way they responded, both during the trial and afterwards. And so if people watch this and all of a sudden are enlightened, have empathy for, their fellow man that they didn't have before, they go, oh, now I get it. Then we've done something that's correct.
Well, before you started working on this film, how much of this did you get?
Oh, I got a lot of it. I didn't get the extent of it. I understood before, relatively quickly, based on the way I had absorbed the story, what it was all about. And so in some ways, to use an example of what I just said, take the way black people responded to the verdict, that we sort of so famously saw people responding with cheers and applause, and then the camera would switch, and you'd see white people sad and angry, and then the reaction to the reaction, white people angry that black people were celebrating. And it was absorbed as if, from some people as if, wait, why are you celebrating a murder? How could you be doing this? And that's what I'm talking about. Without understanding sort of what a community of people had lived through, sort of what the criminal justice system had wrought on a community, both in Los Angeles and throughout the culture, what this relationship was like between this community and the police force, understanding the injustice that had been suffered. If you can live through that and emotionally engage with this, and we hope you can do that as a viewer in this film, then maybe you can look at those same reactions today and say, oh, now I get it for the first time. I shouldn't have been angry. This was not about OJ. This was about something else. And the story I wanted to tell was that story. It was about the LAPD. It was about that history. It was about William Parker's LAPD. It was about the migration of the black community to Los Angeles, of going to a place where they thought there would be a better day, there would be hope for a better life. And they were confronted with realities that were not so different from where they had come from in the Jim Crow South. All of this was the story that I wanted to tell, and no one ever sort of came to me and said, nah, I don't know, this is not for us. This doesn't seem to be enough about OJ. Everyone just sort of let me do the thing, and it worked out well.
Ezra, Poppy's got a shot that he wants to take at you. Go ahead, Poppy.
Hey, Ezra, how has your life changed since you became a big star?
Yeah.
I get to hang out with your son. He gets,
Yeah.
Seriously, the dude FaceTimes me. Who
That
FaceTimes?
stinks, man. That stinks. That's the best thing that's come your way.
Yeah,
You need
isn't
to do
that
better
sad?
stuff with
Isn't
your
that sad?
celebrity, man.
I got Levitard FaceTiming me. That's what's happening.
You need to start singing a lot of Richie at karaoke and mess everybody's heads up. They won't know which star you are.
See you later, buddy. See you.
Ezra, that was not the answer I was looking
No,
for.
that stunk.
I was looking to
Yeah.
hear something about your extracurricular activities.
Yeah, see, you blew it, Ezra. Yes, that's what he was asking you about.
I got nothing. No champagne rooms to report on.
Okay, you like it. When I get aggressive, tell you to go slower, go faster, like controller. Yeah, like controller.
I don't like that.
Police broadcast from the Clevelander Hotel on beautiful South Beach, Miami. Time to play the game that is limping to the finish. Do you question?
Worst ways to be limp. You give us topics and events, and we question them.
Do you question if Brent Burns is happy he missed this shot?
If I understand the producers carefully, they let us know the Stanley Cup Finals are going on right now and apparently aren't over yet. So this is warm-ups. Last night's game, the Sharks won from what I've been told. What do we have here with this Brent Burns character? He scored in the game.
Wait, what is it?
Oh, here we go.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like the hole they put the camera in, and he... No. He wanted to make that more than he wanted to score that goal.
Is he happy that he missed that shot? No, I believe that he would have taken whatever consequences came, including losing the Stanley Cup Finals, because it would have been worth it to hit that particular guy in the face with a puck.
That's not the way you do it. You don't use the puck at all. You take that stick and you ram it through that hole right to his belly. You let him know that you're there.
Yeah,
That's right.
The Impaler would be a pretty cool nickname.
Do you question messing with the strangers?
In this city, As a general rule, in his city, Houston, as a general rule, yes, you question messing with strangers. What do we have here?
I hope it involves Kung Fu.
Are they going to mess with this couple? Oh.
Why would you? Oh, kids, why would you do that? Now, I said I hope this would involve Kung Fu. I am aware of this video that we have here,
Yeah.
and
Bang.
that guy's a boxer.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Wow.
That was an underestimation.
A 2-pack of the one-hitter quitter.
Yeah.
I love how the dude got up and thought about, like, no, let me make sure my buddy isn't dead.
Yeah.
And as it stands, we're
we
still not
don't know.
sure.
We don't
Woo!
know. The right arm, wow. That is an excellent knockout. The right arm stiffened.
Woo, I felt like that one was a little bit unnecessary. Dude was on the ground. You know, he could have let it ride.
I haven't seen a knockout like that since this one.
I forgot how great that was.
I mean, that's a retirement match there, right? There's got to be a retirement match.
Yeah, when the
Wow.
when the drool comes slowly out your mouth and the snot hits the floor just before you do, retire, big man.
Head injuries, they're okay in certain sports.
Concussions.
Do you question if Kid is hungry?
Oh my God, what is this?
All right, let's see this. Is it a giant cat? It is a giant cat, right? Oh, there it is. Yeah, these are horrifying to me every time.
He's creeping too.
He's creeping until, right, she's going to turn around. That's when they attack. When you turn around, yeah, see? Good God, that's a big animal.
Yeah, but I don't know why you're so certain that he was hungry. That doesn't look like somebody looking for food. It looked like he was looking for love.
That might have been the case. Yeah. Don't ever do that
The
again.
tiger of
Next.
love.
Okay.
Time to play the game that is smoking hot. See or no?
Tell us what's on television. We'll tell you if we're intrigued.
Sunday on NBC, Game 6 of the Stanley Cup Final, Penguins and Sharks.
Oh, congratulations. A record-breaking 2 times hockey has been mentioned on the show today, neither time during actual play. Let's go outside the stadium to get away from hockey.
There were no major security issues,
Woo!
although one of our crews did see a fight between fans break out right in front of one of our live trucks. This was on the south side shortly after the game ended. Police quickly broke it up and both men were temporarily restrained.
Not so
but were
quickly.
later
They didn't break it up
released
so
with a
quickly.
warning. Bigger issue was all the trash that fans left behind here outside of Consol as well.
That's the heavyweight division outside the stadium. Bomani, are you intrigued?
The best part there is we're only certain that there's one hockey fan, and let's just say it wasn't the dude in blue.
Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. Listen, I picked the Penguins to win the whole series. You know, I'm telling you something, they lost last night, but they're going to win either in Game 6 or in Game 7. It's going to be a big win for the Penguins, you know, and everybody in Pittsburgh is going to be celebrating. Everybody's going to go like that, you know. They're going to have a big parade down street, you know. They're going to be going like that, you know.
Are you trying to say that Peyton Manning is now a Penguins fan?
On MLB.com, day 2 of the MLB Draft.
Oh, very exciting. Draft, hope, tomorrow, the future. Get excited, baseball executives. Check out the San Diego Padres making their pick yesterday. Look at the background there. An old friend, Tommy Lasorda, very enthused by everything going on at the baseball draft and the future of the Los Angeles Dodgers. He cannot wait to make his selection, all carved up. I mean, oh, wait a minute. Somebody, what happened? Did something happen? Kirk Gibson, 1988. Bomani, are you intrigued?
To be fair to Tommy Lasorda, I mean, by the time these...
I know, he's old. He's old.
I mean, you don't just come to the majors next week. You know what I mean?
Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued because I can read Tony Lasorda's mind. He's waiting for that spread to come out, but at the moment that spread comes out, he's going to wake up and he's going to attack it with everything he got. I can relate to him.
He looks like he already laid waste to the spread, and that's the aftermath.
Did he call him Tony?
Yes.
Saturday on NBC, the Belmont Stakes.
No, thank you, not interested. But how about a practice run? Can I interest you in a practice run involving Exaggerator? Yes? No? Maybe?
Oh!
Yeah. That is not probably exaggerated. That seems like false advertising. I don't believe that that is the way that you would use a. What kind of video was that? Bomani, are you intrigued?
I don't give a damn about this race, and I refuse to pretend.
Oh, Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued because I have on my eye on one underdog. The name of the horse is Trojan Nation. You know, he's a 20-1 underdog. I'm telling you, that horse is someone that is going to make it go. He's going to go all the way to the end. He's going to win it by a nose. Trojan Nation.
You forgot your line, didn't you? Yeah, that's what
A
happened.
message to the kids to stay safe.
There's
That's
the line. There's the line we gave him.
I gave it to him.
Yeah.
He just didn't know why.
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching.
Have a good weekend. Talk to you on Monday.
Gracias. See you el lunes.
What was that?